JJ the CPA here. Want to do a client update. First thing is there's no April 15th deadline. I've sent out a couple of emails related to this. Nothing to file, nothing to sign, nothing to notify. It is just simply now it's July 15th. Nothing's due. First quarter estimated for 2020. Nothing due, nothing to send in. Couldn't be late. It's all due July 15th. So related to 2019, promise you, nothing to do, nothing to sign in, nothing to request or notify. There's literally nothing to do. The date just simply moved to July 15th, period. Same thing for the 2020 first quarter estimated tax payments. There's nothing to do on April 15th. It's all now July 15th. They also announced, they being the IRS last week, that for second quarter estimated tax payments due June 15th, they're now due July 15th. So first and second quarter 2020 estimated tax payments will be both due July 15th. We'll figure out how to go about that when we get closer to it. The other thing to note is that great news, we have PPP money coming for clients that have applied for it and gotten approved. So those should be hitting this week with much relief. I'm gonna put a link in here though, because we need to really now focus in on what are the rules and requirements the IRS has, because in essence, it's a crime to use the money for anything other than what it's intended for the 8 weeks after you getting the money, 56 days. Once you hit the 56-day mark, if you've not used it for its intended purposes, the remaining is not forgiven, but you would then be able to use it for other purposes. Unemployment, we're being told that it's available. It doesn't appear to be the case here in Oklahoma still. I'm putting a link though to a website that is put together by the Department of Labor. And with that, it leads to a link for every state for those that are listening that aren't clients. But for Oklahoma, as of April 10th, I had 3 different individuals try to apply for unemployment as self-employed or S-corp owners or owning real estate. The federal unemployment is really meant for all. It's a huge wide gap. And once I know that Oklahoma is accepting it, I will let you know. If you want to keep checking on it, you can, but where you do apply is at the Oklahoma level. For those that are self-employed, own their own S-corp, even if you do have wages from it, Oklahoma will not support getting Oklahoma unemployment. This would be for federal unemployment. I've got another video on this. Please see the link involved. The employee retention credit. Late Friday night, the IRS came out with some additional interpretations of it. So we're going to hold from filing the 7200 until we get more information on that. I have a link in the body of this to an email with further details. And then as it relates to the stimulus checks, we're expecting those to start coming out this week, the week of the 13th. For those that have gotten a direct deposit from the IRS in the past, we were told that there would be a link at the IRS that if you had not received a direct deposit in the past and therefore the IRS didn't have your account number, that you could log in and give it to them. I think because of the opportunity for major scams related to that, that is not being provided at this point, with no opportunity that I'm aware of that it will be provided. So it will be then that next week they'll be mailing out checks. This is the $1,200 for single, $2,400 for married filing jointly, and if your kids are under 17, it's $500. If your kids are over 17 and you claimed them, they're not going to get anything. If they make money and they're over 21, they may, but it would need to be that they filed over $12,000. As it relates to if you've changed your address, I'll put a link in here and you can mail in a form. It's very simple because you just put in your old address, your new address, you sign it, you mail it in. The instructions are involved with that. It's not really anything that we would need to do. Just be easier if you did it and quicker. The thing to note though is that the way that that's submitted, unfortunately, without any sarcasm, it'll probably be 3 to 4 months, I would assume, before that's processed. But nonetheless, might as well get it in, because if you've changed your address and you've not filed anything since, there's not anything that they would know on how to go about that. As it relates to a portal to provide any additional information on the stimulus, it's been told they now have a portal, but that's only for people that don't have to file a return, meaning they make less than $12,000. Kids do not count. Kids that are in college don't count. There's really not a way that you're going to qualify for the $1,200 if you're somebody that's 24 or under, unless you already have a full-time job, you're making $20,000, $25,000 a year, you're on your own, and you're not a dependent. As it relates to the $500, it will not go to the kid, it'll go to the parent. As it relates to the phase out, if your income is above $75,000 single, you're going to start seeing a phase out. Once it hits $99,000, you're going to be fully phased out. And if you are getting money for your kids, the phase out will apply the same. Married filing jointly, it's $150,000. And once you're at $199,000, then it's going to be fully phased out. That's based on your adjusted gross income. If you have a business that doesn't have wages, it's not going to be able to qualify for the PPP. Now, if you're self-employed and you file a Schedule C, which I can think maybe there's 2 clients of mine that we do a Schedule C, you can apply for the PPP using your net income from a Schedule C. When you're getting K1 from the S Corp, it doesn't count. When you're getting K1 from a partnership, if it's subject to self-employment tax, it may count. I don't have one client that I prepare a return for that their K1 from a partnership has self-employment income. For an S Corp, the only thing that's going to count is the wages. If you pay 1099, it will not count. For partnerships, the partners are not able to be partners if they own it directly. It will only be for the wages that are in that partnership. As it relates to the forgiveness part, I'll have some additional information on that. You do need to be very cognitive of what you're spending that money on in the next 8 weeks. I don't know how harsh that they will look at this, but what you need to be aware is if you got a PPP, 100% you will be going in front of a bank examiner, and they will be reviewing when you spent your money, how you spent your money, and you would want to ensure that you have taken every precaution to not commit a crime that in 8 weeks you're putting together that money went to other purposes. After the 8 weeks, it appears that the loan's not forgiven for whatever you didn't spend or whatever it didn't go to the proper amounts, and therefore then it's in essence converted to a loan. Again, find the link on that. As it relates to any of these other items, if for more details, please see a link in this. I hope you're doing well. And just to reiterate, there's nothing to do for April 15th. All right, this is a message specifically for clients. Again, in here is links to the rest. Y'all have a great week.